The first Rand Technology Month has been about leadership. We had a conference of the top IT leaders in the middle of September, grappling with the latest trends in the industry. Secondly, learning. We have the partnership with We Think Code, and we've had 3 months of masterclasses. 1,000 people have come through those, learning about the latest technology. Thirdly, business. We got all the innovators from across the group together for a full day of ideation a month before Codefest to make sure that we're working on the right business problems. Fourth is industry. The Africa DevOps Day took place at the end of September. We had over 350 IT professionals talking about Agile, Lean and DevOps in their different industries. The fifth element is share. This is the X-Fest exhibition that we have running inside the Codefest venue, where we have 10 topics, big 2025 drivers. And together with that, the sixth and final element is the Build Hackathon. This is the cornerstone of Codefest. This is where we actually started this journey last year in March and October. And this year, we have over 300 developers in 40 teams working on some really cool stuff as part of a 48-hour hackathon. And that will bring to a close the first Rand Technology Innovation Month. Hopefully something will repeat at scale in 2017.
It was such a pleasure to be part of DevOps Africa Day today. It's the fourth one. And this thing has totally exceeded all of our expectations. When we founded this conference 2 years ago, we couldn't even believe that even in a short space like 2 years, it turned into something like this. And it is such a great win for South Africa, it's such a great win for the financial industry, and it's a great win for Standard Bank.
At We Think Code, we have an entirely different approach to learning. We have no teachers, no classes, everything is based on peer-to-peer learning. We've got this whole gamified system, and students come into campus and they learn from each other. They don't just learn how to churn out lines of code, they really learn how to solve problems using coding as a tool.
First Rand prides itself on this fiercely independent businesses that we allow people to run. And one of the problems it creates is that there is a lack of collaboration between some of these pillars. Now what happens in this room is that we have everybody talking with each other. And every time people come back here, they experience the magic that happens when we speak to each other. And that's slowly starting to go into our business and change the way we work.
When we launched this grand challenge to exploit the technology and look at whether or not a computer can really challenge a human in understanding questions that are unstructured. This whole concept of unstructured data now, that's where it materializes in the enterprise.
My name is Lebo Mkhotsi from FNB Connect and Service Provider, and of course we're getting people connected. So what we're doing here is pushing our unlimited calls, and we're pushing the coolest FNB Connect phone.
So maybe let me just put Mike Preston, who's the CIO of our Forex business, on the spot. And Mike, just at a very high level, without obviously sharing anything in too much detail, what are we doing here today?
Okay. Thanks, Pete. So we firmly believe that Internet of Things is going to drive a completely different sort of need for a payment platform. Blockchain has had a lot of hype over the last little while, and we think IoT payments may well make a case for blockchain becoming mainstream.
First Rand Codefest. If you're in IT, this is the place you actually want to be. The coolest technology, the coolest gadgets, the coolest people that you're going to meet is all happening here for the next week.
Hi, I'm Karen Williams from Red Hat South Africa. We are over the moon to be part of the Codefest exhibition and events leading up to Codefest.
We are live on the factory floor of Codefest 2016. We've kicked off and we're halfway through the team presentations. They've been telling everybody else that's here in the room exactly what they're going to be working on over the 48-hour hackathon. We've heard about cognitive computing, we've heard about blockchain, we've heard about enhancing our customer journey here at the bank, and all of these are going to hopefully feed into some awesome prototypes and some sustainable business value after Codefest.
Good afternoon, I'm Jason from the Foundry team, Lost and Found. So what we're building at Codefest this year is a solution that involves natural language processing, it involves a bit of machine learning, and it involves data.
Blockchain is actually a term that many people have started to talk about, but very few people understand exactly what it is. I'd like to talk a little bit about the implications of what it has for society. So for the first time in human history, we can actually transfer value pretty much instantaneously across borders, across different institutions, and without having to wait for a long time before that value actually gets transferred.
We're doing something called the IBD Travel Wallet. We've got together a whole group of people from across the group. We have a developer from FNB, we have someone from Westbank, we have myself from RMB, and then we have a whole team of people that have joined us from all the universities. So these are graduates that are going to join either FNB, RMB or Westbank next year. So it's quite a diverse team.
Okay, so we're building a app for the government. So it's basically trying to bring in all the 14 different websites for the Gauteng government into one app that can make service delivery easier for the public and just more efficient for everybody.
What our project is about is pretty much trying to solve client frustrations through standardizing the application processes and actually enabling us to measure how a client goes through online applications to direct and into business account fulfillment and eventually into card delivery.
What stands out is the teams being able to take away a lot of the red tape and a lot of the roadblocks that potentially hold them back in a normal, especially in a corporate environment, take all of that stuff away and let the guys innovate. And I can tell you what, we've been around, we've met with at least, well, pretty much all of the teams at least once. And we focused on various different aspects of the technical judging, all the way from technology selection, certain quality practices, considering how well some of the solutions can potentially integrate with the existing banking environment, how open they've made or the ideas that they've got to make their solutions open and integratable into the existing ecosystem.
We're seeing how you guys really are understanding how the disruptive nature of fintech and the need to innovate requires what we're seeing here today. There's an open communication and collaboration that really fosters innovation, and we are loving that because that's really a part of our culture. You know, the whole open source movement is about exactly those things, about communication, about collaboration and driving innovation through free thinking.
More waffles. You can never have too many waffles.
Well, that's what it is, because Innovation Month is really about ways of work. It's around the culture that we need to have to transform our organization, to break down the silos, to really, step into the new world of how high-performing organizations are working.
Learned a lot, still have to learn a lot, and maybe come back with more experience next year and then see how it goes.